Bennett Davison with the EuroHooplife podcast. We're talking with Shad and Smith specifically about Japan and Takamatsu. Is that correct pronunciation?
Yes, it's Takamatsu 5 Arrows is the name. They're in the
Awesome.
BJ League.
Okay, and what
BJ
city?
Liga is
Let's
what they
get
would say.
let's get right into it. Let's go. What city were you in? What was it like? Was it a culture shock? What were the Let's just get into like what would someone expect once they got off the
Yeah,
plane or the
for
train?
sure. For sure. So Takamatsu is actually the name of the city. So Takamatsu was the name of the city. The I flew strictly into Takamatsu from Tokyo. So I got to Tokyo, flew straight into Takamatsu to the small little airport, and then from there they drove me straight around the city. When I first got there, they just kind of took me into a tour. I got there early in the morning. I think I left late at night, and I got there early in the morning, which was fine with me because I was typically going to go to sleep on the plane. So they drove me around the city. The city was really, really nice.
Is it in the
Big
mountains
city.
by the ocean or anything?
It's more so along. It's close to the water. So like in Japan, they have the mainland, and then there's like a. It's called Kagawa Prefecture. So they're not in states. So like Tokyo is a prefecture. It's like a state. So Kagawa is like an area. So like there's a lake. There's like the basically the ocean like in the middle of us. So we have to cross a bridge to like go
Okay.
over to Osaka. So like Osaka is a main like city that's kind of close
So you're in a
by
metropolis
Takamatsu.
area, very big city.
Yeah, like kind of more so just like that. So Takamatsu is like 3 hours away from Osaka, which is like the second biggest city in Japan. So yeah, they drove me around. Definitely a culture shock just on how they live and things that you see. There's a lot of different temples that I never would imagine me ever going to and seeing, but they definitely look nice. And it's more so of a tourist thing, but I never was really interested in those things. But I'll say one of the culture shocks I would say for Japan was that anywhere you go, no matter where, if you go into someone's apartment, you're going into the gym, you're going to a restaurant, you have to take off your shoes.
Yeah.
So you have to take off your shoes. I don't know if you ever seen Tokyo Drift, where
Yes.
you saw the guy saying "kawati, kawati," like that means like he had to put the little sandals on, and they always have sandals that you wear. They could be hanging
Yes.
off your
Inside
feet,
house
but
slippers. Yep.
yeah, you have to like basically wear them out, and it's something that they just believe in, as far as like don't bring like I guess dirt or I
Yeah.
don't know if it's evil spirits onto your feet or whatever they say they believe. So you just basically they want everything clean, and they're a very very clean culture, like very very clean. Like I didn't really see a lot of garbage cans there, so like I guess what we would usually do is take our garbage and like throw them away like at our homes or so.
Yeah.
So there's not like just garbage cans on the street where you can just toss stuff. And on top of all of that, they're still clean and neat, for
Nice.
sure. So yeah, that's definitely was a
That's one
culture
of the
shock
things
for
when you're
me.
overseas is just accepting their culture and going off on experiments. And hey, let's go out and drink at this one cultural bar that they only play very cultural country music, stuff like that. It's always good for players to go out and say, hey, let me go try something new.
Y-
So you
Yeah,
enjoyed the whole
that
culture and the
was
basketball and the facilities and the
so.
city and everything.
Yeah, so that was one thing that I was kind of just I jumped right into, and then some people don't, but I advise like any player to just definitely dive into the culture and learn some a bit. Like ask somebody from your management, ask somebody from your club, like what do you guys like to do? What do you do for fun? What is your favorite foods? Because you'll find out that some of the things they do is actually maybe even similar, but also might be something different, but it's good. You know what I'm saying? And it's helpful. So what I
Right.
love about Japan was Japan had the most amazing food ever. So I asked them to kind of like show me what they like to eat, and whether it's yakui, yakiniku, some of the things that
Yeah.
their food is amazing. So that was one of the
Outstanding.
things that I asked that I dive into the culture with, and I definitely love for sure.
So if the basketball wasn't good, go for the food.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, what were the facilities like when you're talking about this team and stuff? Obviously, as a player, you want to go there and find out what the culture is like. But when you're also there, you're in and out. Eat, you wake up, eat, practice, go home, eat, sleep, practice, go home, eat, sleep, practice, travel, airport, bus stations. What was it like? What were the facilities like, and what can a player expect once he gets to the and plays for this team?
Japan, very, very, very professional. All the facilities there were pretty good. This one thing that they do with most of their like their clubs is they don't have just one facility. They'll have their main gym where they play at, but like we had possibly like 3 gyms that we played at for our teams, for our games, for our home games. That's just things they do. I don't know if they do that to basically want to hit different parts of the city. So people have more fans can know
Okay.
about us and see and play. I expect that's what they did it for. But that was something that was great and different for me because usually you just have one facility and people know you for that
Yeah.
facility. But as far as like them, they decorate their team bus. Like it's if you see us riding on the road, you're gonna see a big Takamatsu 5 arrow sign, so the fans can definitely see and locate you. So I would say that except for them, it was very, very it was professional. Everything was like perfect for us, like them
Probably got a
marketing
lot of
themselves
gear
and
and shoes and
yeah,
clothing and suits and stuff like
yeah.
that. There's all
So I would
everything's in the
say
whole package.
I would say for sure that they're sponsored very well. You're gonna definitely when you first get there in your room, you're gonna have your whole bag full of your practice gear, and they give you like 5 of them, and then which is really rare for a professional. They give you
Yeah.
5 practice jerseys, long sleeves, and I believe they give you the long sleeves because in Japan, once you get cold, there have been no ventilations in the gym, so whatever you feel outside is what you're gonna feel inside the gym. So
At least you're not in the snow
hoodie.
like in Slovakia where your feet are wet trying to
Unless you're not in the
practice.
snow, yeah, yeah, for sure. But I would say that, yeah, warm up suits, everything you got. We got like suitcases full of like gear that I
Okay.
still just have to this day. That just people just want to support you. And the next thing is their businesses around the area. They'll come bring you in and let you just like you know sponsor you with some gear from their clothing because they want you to
Okay.
market it around their
Keep you sane
games.
around the time and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
they're really, really, really big on that. So their own home brand places, they will definitely give you like everything they have just so you can wear it and more people love it. And they look at you as like rock stars, like real
Yeah.
rock stars out there. Like it's like a really thing. We had definitely on billboards, definitely on commercials. I did a couple of school visits where I kind of taught the PE classes
Yeah.
and the newspaper, the news and the media love it. They eat that up. And that's
Nice.
just something that even today, like I have kids that follow me on Facebook from Japan and they follow me on Instagram. They still
Yep.
ask for me. They have pictures with me. They have T-shirts still of me signing. They definitely love that. They
Outstanding.
love it.
So it's a very
They love it for
welcoming
sure.
culture for the basketball industry.
Very, very welcoming culture for the basketball. And one other thing that's kind of funny and crazy about Japan is they kind of tie everything in together. And I heard the same thing about China. So I had a celebrity comparison in Japan,
Who would they
and no one
say?
would never believe exactly who it was. They all thought I was Dwayne Wade. Look nothing like Dwayne Wade, and I want to try to start to send you a picture so you can see it's on my Instagram, but it's a picture of me, and then next to it is Dwayne Wade. They used to hold that sign up in the games.
Everyone
It's
used
crazy.
to keep thinking I was Matt Barnes.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Us
That's
all us
definitely
athletes,
crazy.
we all look the same. So
Dang, that's
let's get
crazy though.
into it. So tell me a little story, and then if there, it sounds like all the other players that I've talked to, I think Lynn Washington was there. A couple players, they say that Japan is very reliable on payments. You never have an issue with any payments. Go into that, share a little funny story, and then we'll just wrap up the interview.
Yeah, so far as in Japan, I mean they're well sponsored teams. So far as them like having any kind of money issues, they never really had like money problems. Now I did hear about certain times people might be in late, but as far as them actually like paying you what you are owed, they're gonna make sure you get it.
Okay.
So I never heard of a story as far as in Japan where they were like, okay, we can't pay you guys, we got to send you home, and you're gonna lose $50,000.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna find a way to go get the money,
It's not
and
like
that's just
Turkey
basically
or Southern Italy or
they're not
Crete
like
or
Turk.
Greece.
Yeah, they're gonna make sure they get in. And it's not going to be an issue. That's just
Yeah.
real professional. They're big on their reputation, and they just want everything to be the right way and correct. So yeah, as far as that, never, never, never had an issue. I think one of the things that I learned in Japan that I just didn't like, and which some people look at as a funny story, is that when you play there, you have to basically you have two Americans on the court, the first quarter and the third quarter. And then for the second and the fourth quarter, you can have three play. So for our teams in the BJ League, they always get 4 Americans, 4 imports,
Yeah.
well, to say it. So that was just something that I wasn't usually used to, and something
Okay.
that I had to grow from and learn
Yeah, you want to be
because
on the floor. I hate sitting on the
I
bench.
want to be. I hate sitting on the bench, especially when I know I can get in the game and do
Yeah.
something to make something work. I do not like that. So that's something that just as young players to know. Like sometimes you're going to be in situations where you're going to get in. You only got 10 minutes. that game. Like literally, I was averaging sometimes in the beginning just 10, 15 minutes. And I would be like mad at that. But then I'll look down to the other team and I'm looking like, man, this guy didn't play at all. So that's something that I had to mature. I had to learn. And it's something I had to grow with. But that's something that I just didn't like. And any other young players that get there, like when you get to those situations, try to have expectations. Try to do whatever you can to pick the coach's brain on like what you can do and try to build that relationship to get him to trust you. Because what my situation was, I had older veterans that were in front of me that I had to basically just like stay under. They were good. I was good, but they're older. They've been there. They got a better reputation. They know people around the whole Japan league, and I didn't know anyone. I'm the young buck, so I got to kind of earn my own stripes and wait for my opportunity to go there. So yeah, that was just something that I didn't like, wasn't used to, but it happened, and I had to grow from it.
Outstanding.
So yeah.
Well, Sean, thank you for all this information specifically on Japan. And how can people reach out to you? What's the best way for them to contact you?
So my Instagram is Sean Smith 35. The same as Twitter. They're both Sean Smith 35. I think Twitter even says Sean Smith .35. But the basic premises is basically Sean Smith 35. If you put that in, you'll reach me. You'll see me. I have a lot of different information, content on both posts. I'm always willing. I'm an open book. Just come ask me questions. I can talk to you about whatever it is as far as nutrition, training, what happened over there, as far as payment in depth and et cetera, and how we got paid, the process of getting there. Whatever you guys need, I'm just a resource. I'm here. So definitely just reach out to me.
Perfect. That's what EuroHooplife is. We're leaving breadcrumbs for younger players coming through the process. And if they have any questions with you and all the other players that we have interviews and podcasts, we're coming from an educational perspective. Sean, thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sure.